Hi everyone, Tommy from Row Films here. I thought I'd do a really quick video to explain why I'm not swapping in my GH5 and GH5S for the new S1 or S1H. So the new Lumix cameras, the mirrorless full frame beasts, are just brilliant cameras. So when these cameras first dropped, like many of you out there, I looked at them long and hard. So as of today, I'm using the GH5 and the GH5S, which I'm filming this on. I love them. They're great cameras. I predominantly do wedding films with some live events, music videos, bit of commercial stuff, but predominantly weddings. I have to add, I've not actually had my hands on any of those S1 cameras, the S1 or the S1H or the S1, the S1, the S1H, the S1R? Yeah. The S1, the S1H or the S1R. I've not laid hands on any of them. So if someone wants to send me one, feel free. Send me one. I will reconsider. Size and weight. For me personally, weight and size are very, very important considerations. With Micro Four Thirds cameras, the size and weight of them, there's nothing to them. The GH5 here has still one of the best IBIS systems. It really is incredible. If you pair it with a stabilized lens, you get the dual IS, and it allows you to shoot at 100mm, which is 200mm equivalent in full frame. And to be able to shoot at an equivalent of 200mm is seriously impressive. Before these types of stabilization systems,
as seriously impressive before these types of stabilization system is.
They're always listening. So as I was saying, both of them shoot 4K 60 frames per second internally at 8-bit, and externally via an external recorder you can get 4K 60 in 10-bit. So the most common setting I use, mainly for weddings, is Full HD 60 frames per second in 10-bit, which it records internally. It's lovely footage, it's beautiful. It grades really, really nicely. That color grading video is coming soon, by the way. Subscribe so you don't miss it. So both cameras have variable frame rate modes, various options for picture profiles as well. Cine D is the one I probably use the most for weddings. Vlog. Unlike many of their competitors, you don't get that irritating 30-minute recording time limit. Honestly, coming from Canon prior to these two, I can't put into words how much I love that. The GH5S has even more video-centric features over the GH5 as well, such as little red things on it, a little S and a red dial and a red button with rec on it. That's the main one, really. It's not really. Such as slightly larger sensor than the GH5, slightly improved color science. The dual ISO gives the GH5S a significant advantage in low light conditions. And by using them both together, they make up for each other's weaknesses. Where I want to shoot handheld, I use the GH5. And if it's a low light situation, I use the GH5S because of its dual ISO, dual native ISO. Next is the quality of the footage. Probably arguably the most important thing, really. I love the footage that comes out of these cameras. And finally, price. I'm honestly not sure for the price of these cameras that you can do much better. Micro Four Thirds now has been around for a long time. Because it's an open source mount, there's a huge ecosystem of lenses out there. So there are plenty more reasons I enjoy using these cameras so much and why I think they're so great, such as the flippy screen. So what about the S1 and the S1H? Superior cameras in many aspects. They are superb cameras. The S1H, it's a beast. It's an absolute beast. So why am I not purchasing the S1 or the S1H? In a nutshell, because I don't need to. The quality of these cameras and the value that they represent is clear. So Panasonic has confirmed, I believe, that the new full frame video-centric cameras aren't going to replace the Micro Four Thirds equivalent. Rather, they're going to coexist. And that makes sense because to me, they each serve a purpose. So I thought about it myself, considered it myself, and came to the conclusion that for me, it's probably not worth it right now. But let me just break that down into my 4 main reasons for not swapping over to the S1 or the S1H. The small form factor and weight of the GH cameras is a clear benefit to me for the kind of work that I do and my style of shooting. The full frame cameras just can't really compete with them. The S1H with a big zoom on it, then sometimes mounted on a gimbal, it'd be even bigger and heavier again, and much less comfortable on a 14-hour wedding shoot than this. It even has its own fan. A mirrorless camera with a fan built in. It's got to be another first. So reason number 1, size and weight. These win. They all give you similar functionality, such as a screen that swivels one way or another. They all give you metering functions such as vector scope and histogram, zebras. Then you've got the focus peaking as well. Looking at the S1H, it shoots 4K 60 frames per second, 10-bit internally, but not in full frame. There is still a crop. And as for 6K shooting, I just don't need that. I don't need 6K. Waiting for the comments telling me off.
Need 6K. I need 6K. I need 6K. I need 6K.
I don't need 6K. So the quality of the video footage. I'm just happy with the quality of the video footage that comes out of the GH5 and the GH5S. The S1, I believe, is a few hundred British pounds more than the GH5S. The S1H, however, 3 times the cost of a GH5. I could buy 3 GH5s or 2 GH5S bodies for the cost of 1 S1H body and probably have some change left over. And then there's the lenses. The L-mount lenses are much more expensive. So to wrap this up, everybody's decision-making process on these things will be different. When I was personally considering the S1 cameras, I found myself thinking, what am I actually getting? I'm already happy with the footage that's being produced from these cameras. My clients love the quality of my work. So for me, it comes down to this. No client, weddings or otherwise, is going to pay extra for the features that have been built into the S1H. All that really matters with these things is that you like the footage that you're producing, and the people that are paying you money to make them stuff like the quality of the footage that you're producing. So to close, for me, for now, I won't be purchasing the S1 or the S1H. I will be sticking with my GH5 and my GH5S. Sony, if they do maybe at some point bring out an A7S III, I might have to look again. I might be a very old man by then. We'll see. One thing is very clear though, for filmmakers, photographers, videographers, anyone who uses a camera for anything at all, never have we had it so good. It's a good time to be alive. That's it for this video. I hope it's been useful. Hope you've got something out of it. I've got loads more videos coming very soon, so please do subscribe, hit that bell thing. Bye for now.